Hello, hello, hello. My name is Chula, and welcome to my channel, Hooked on Houseplants. I hope you all are having a fabulous day today. And if you're not, hopefully it'll get better after you see my video. Today we're going to be talking about or looking at my philodendron collection. And I know some of you might be thinking, okay, so what happened to the alocasia and begonia collection that she's been talking about? Well, that's coming. That is coming. I'm just waiting on a few goodies in both of those categories. So as soon as I get them, I'll be ready to show you both collections. So it's coming. It is coming. But today I'm going to show you part of my philodendron collection. I have a big collection, so this series is going to be a two-parter. So today I'm just going to show you my smaller philodendrons in my collection, and then part two will be the larger ones. So in between showing you each plant, I'm going to give you a few fun facts about philodendrons. And some of these things that I mentioned you may already know, but I'm going to tell you again anyway. So let's jump right in. First of all, philodendrons is a large genus of flowering plants in the family Araceae, or more commonly referred to as aroids. They are native to tropical parts of America, although now they can be found in places like Australia, the Pacific Islands, Africa, and Asia. So they are a very large genus of plants. So to start us off, I'm going to show you one of my smaller philodendrons. And if you can believe it, this actually used to be a very large specimen of silver sword. But y'all know some things happen. It is what it is. So this is what I got left. So this is a silver sword. I know a lot of you like the silver sword because of the silvery tinge to the leaves. It is a very beautiful plant. I did struggle with some root rot with this plant, and that's one of the many reasons why this is all that I have left. But I am attempting to grow it back. And I'm actually fine with it being this small because I have a lot of large plants already and little room. So I'm okay with my philodendron silver sword. As you will see with all of my philodendrons, I have them in a chunky aroid mix that's made up of a little bit of tree fern fiber, orchid bark, a little bit of charcoal. As I showed you before, I like the larger perlite. And I think that's about it. And maybe just a little bit of the Fox Farm, uh, the ocean kind of potting soil, but just a little bit. So that is my mix for my philodendron, my aroids. So this is number one, the silver sword. Next up on the list is a cutting from my huge Burl Marx variegated. I'm going to show you the mother plant in part two because she is huge. So this is a cutting from that plant. And I took this cutting because, as you already know, that can happen very easily with the Burl Marx variegated. Is the variegation, there's hardly any variegation on the mother plant. So I took these two cuttings, and as you can see, they're very nicely variegated. So I'm going to see if I can grow this plant or grow a variegated plant So what I will be doing is if I get any green leaves, I will be cutting them off. So this is another one of the leaves, and this is a new leaf. So it has nice variegation. And y'all, sometimes I can't find containers, so we have to be creative. This is a water bottle. Yes, it is. And so I have the cutting potted up in that, and I hope you can see the roots and how well it's doing. Okay, so Philodendron, Burl Marx, variegated. Okay, so another fun fact about philodendron is that the plant was, I guess, discovered or described in the year 1644, but it wasn't given its name until the year 1829. And the name is a Greek name because philo or philo means love or affection, and dendron means tree, which is very apropos because, as we all know, philodendron can get huge, almost tree-like. And it's also translated to mean a tree hugger because it is a climber that loves to embrace trees or to climb onto trees, because many philodendron are epiphytes. I hope I'm saying that correctly, or semi-epiphytes. Y'all know what I'm trying to say. And what that means is they just grow on the surface of other plants. And they derive their moisture from the air, rain, the water, as well as debris that might accumulate around the plant. Okay, so next up is my philodendron pedatum, which also used to be a very large plant. And this is what I have left. And I'm okay with this. She's doing okay so far. And I don't have any problems out of her at this point. And I hope it stays that way. So this is the pedatum. Okay, next up is, I am going to call this a black cardinal. Now, on my plant tour, which I hope you all have an opportunity to watch, that was my very first video, my plant collection tour. So I was saying that I didn't know for sure what type of plant this was. I got it from Kroger, I think, and it just said philodendron. But I'm thinking it is a black cardinal. So you can tell me down in the comments if you agree or if you disagree, or don't say anything if you don't know. I'm just kidding. So this is the black cardinal. This is a self-heading type of philodendron, which means, let me look at my notes, that it grows upright with leaves that are spaced close together, so that sometimes you can hardly see the stem. But sometimes as they grow larger, they may need to be staked up. So this is an example of a self-heading philodendron, the black cardinal. Could that bird be any louder? I tell you, never fail. Whenever I start filming these birds, they just want to sing so loud. Okay, so next up is my white wizard. That's a half moon. It doesn't have tons of variegation, but I'm fine. I'm good with the amount of variegation that it has. Yeah, this is the white wizard. And I hope you can see the variegation on the stem. It's like a white and kind of burgundy variegation. And I think that that's one way that you can distinguish this one from like the princess and the uh, knight, I think is the other one. So this is the white wizard. Okay. So another fun fact about philodendron is that as of June of this year, the plants of the world online accepted 621 species of philodendron, um, although other sources may cite different numbers, but this particular one accepts 621 species of philodendron. So I guess it could be more or it could be less. But regardless of the number of the species, the genus is the second largest member of the Araceae family. And the number one largest is or are Anthurium. Okay. So next up are some of my trailing philodendrons. This is the heart-shaped philodendron or heteroecium. And I have her kind of in a self-watering setup because I kept forgetting to water her, and that's why she's looking the way she's looking. And I had to be creative. This is actually a cup from my cabinet, and it fits very nicely just like that. So she's in self-watering in a chunky mix. So this is the heteroecium. Another trailing plant is my Philodendron Brazil. And to be honest, I'm not one of those plant people that's going to be able to tell you definitively, oh, I've had this plant for 3 months, 2 weeks, and 3 days. The only thing that I can tell you, because I have so much going on in my life that I can hardly remember the really important things, is that most of my plants I obtained during COVID. So I'm going to say that most of my plants are, what, I guess maybe 2 to 3 years old. Or some of them I've had them just for maybe a couple of months. So I really don't know how long I've had this one, to be quite honest, but this is the Brazil. And she's starting to trail a little bit. I had her in water for months, and I had her inside of my bedroom, but I decided to pot her up. And so she's been in an aeroid mix for the last probably like 2 months, and she's doing very well. I just have to make sure to keep her watered. So this is the Brazil. And another trailing plant that I have is the Rio, that I also have in a self-watering setup. I can't get it out, but yeah, this is the Rio. And some people might get the Rio and Brazil confused, but as you can see, let me find a good example. The Rio has white in the leaf. And to me, the leaf looks a little bit, some of the leaves look a little bit longer and a little bit pointier than the Brazil. But that's how I'm able to tell them apart, is because of the white that's in the leaves. So let me see if I can hold them up together so you can see them both and see how they're different. So this is the Brazil and this is the Rio. Okay. Let me see another, if I have any other fun facts. Okay, so the two plants that I just showed you, they obviously are trailing plants. So philodendron, they can be self-heading, they can be trailing, or they can be climbers, or they can be crawlers. Okay. I'm going to show you, actually, I think I've shown you everything up here. I'm going to show you an example of a crawler. But y'all just, just don't even say, don't even say nothing. This is my pastazanum, or what's left of my pastazanum. Y'all, she was huge. I had her in a huge rectangular pot. I kid you not. She had like 12 leaves. And see, I regret, like I had no idea that one day I would be doing a YouTube plant channel, but I wish that I had have taken pictures of some of these plants in their former glory so that you could see what they used to look like. But this is what I have left of my pastazanum, which I said is a crawler. When I tell you that spider mice devoured this plant, I mean, they just tore her up. And so I just got tired. I got tired of fooling with it, and her leaves were just so damaged. So I just cut the plant all the way back. There was nothing but this left. And so right now, and see the roots, they're not even looking that great. I'm going to actually get some more fluvostratum and put this in fluvostratum. But you can see how the plant grows. It just crawls across the soil. So of course, I don't have this part of it in the water. I just keep it sitting here on top. And yes, this is a NutriBullet container. Like I said, sometimes when you low on funds, you got to be creative, and there's nothing wrong with that. So this is Miss Pastazanum. I think this is the newest leaf. The leaves can get huge. And then it's working on this leaf right there. All right. So moving right along is, now if you all saw my last video, which was, what was my last video? Oh, July updates and plants that I'm loving right now. And I showed this one, and I'm going to link some of these videos either up here or in the description box. But this is the strawberry shake. And something interesting about the strawberry shake that I did not know is that it is a hybrid. It is mixed with, or it comes from the Arabescens crossed with the Prince of Orange. So the Arabescens has the green leaves, and then the Prince of Orange has the orangey color, I guess, variegated leaves. So that the strawberry shake is a cross between those two philodendron. She's also in a self-watering setup. And like I mentioned before, this tends to be a thirsty plant for me. So that's why she's in self-watering. This is the newest leaf. It's not quite hardened off yet, so it will probably get bigger. And then look at this gorgeous leaf. So this is the strawberry shake. Now, oh, I forgot about this little one. My next one is this golden goddess. Another one that used to be large. I actually had her on a pole. And to be honest, I can't remember what happened with this plant, but obviously I chopped it way back. And so she's growing back. She's in her little face planter, Mr. Simon, with his glasses on. But yeah, this is the golden goddess. And she has the yellowish, like chartreuse, I guess, color leaves. So that is her. Next up is my majestic. Now, this is a tissue culture plant. And see, that's why it has all these little plantlets. It was actually more, but they kind of died off. But yeah, this is a tissue culture. And I mentioned in my last video that I had this plant in water because it wasn't looking too majestic. So I've potted it up, and I'm curious to see how it's going to do. To me, it looks like it's already getting a little better. This is the newest leaf that's trying to unfurl. And then this one is a newer leaf. Now, as many of you know, this is a hybrid of the Soderoy and Varicosum. So this is the closest I'm going to get to a Varicosum. Because if you remember in my plants that I want to slap video, no, it wasn't in that one. It was in plants that I probably will never have in my collection. I think that was the third video that I did. And Varicosum is one of those plants because it tends to be one of the more difficult plants. So, you know, Majestic, she does have some Varicosum in her. And actually, you can see a little bit of that from the back of the leaf, a little bit, maybe sort of. So I have faith in her. I think she's going to do great things. So this is the Majestic. And it has the silvery highlights on the leaves, if you can see those. Okay. Next up, oh, I forgot. I'm supposed to be giving y'all more facts. I think I may have told you everything that I have. One thing that I will say, and I'm going to show you an example that I talked about in my last video. This is a dark lord. And this was a wish list plant for a long time for me. And it was really hard to find. I did get this from an Etsy seller. And it came with this leaf, this one, and I think that's it. So I've had this plant for about maybe 4 months. And so in a 4-month period, I've gotten this one, this one, this one, and this new one that just opened up. And the thing that I love about the Philodendron Dark Lord is the darkness of the leaves. And I'm really hoping that my leaves get darker as the plant matures, because that's really why I wanted the plant, because I love the look of the dark leaves. But anyway, this plant has the EFN thing going on, the extra floral nectaries. And that's why you see these spots. because as it dries, it kind of, I guess, stains the plant with these little spots. And as I was saying in my last video, it's actually the plant's way of defending itself. And I've learned that it's the sign of a healthy plant because the sticky sap that it produces, it attracts good insects like ants and other types of insects that get on the plant and then kill the bad insects that could destroy the plant. So that is why philodendrons a lot of time produce the extra floral nectaries that cause the dots on the plant. So it's nothing fungal. It's just part of, as I like to call it, the defense mechanism of the plant. So this is the Dark Lord. Okay. Next up is my pink princess, the plant that you all love to hate. Well, this is mine. And the variegation is pretty decent. I'm trying to think, what did I learn about? Is she a hybrid? I can't remember. I can't remember where I wrote it. I think it's a hybrid. No, let's see. I can't remember. But anyway, this is my pink princess. And, you know, I know what you all say that you hate about how the leaves get caught and all that jazz. And yes, mine does the same thing. Not all of the time, but sometimes. But what I do is I just spray it. Like if it's like here's one that's coming out now. I don't know if you can see that one. It might be kind of hard to see. But what I do is I just spray it. I just spray it with a water bottle and I very carefully pull it so that it can come out of the sheath, I guess you call it. But I do it very slowly so that I don't damage the leaf. But yes, mine does the same thing. It really doesn't bother me that much. It just is what it is. It's just part of what the plant does. And probably because, you know, where it's native to, it probably is a lot of humidity. And so that may be why sometimes they do that with us, because maybe possibly they may not be getting the amount of humidity that they're used to in their native environment. So really all we can do is just try to mimic to the best of our ability their native environment. And if we don't, then they're going to do things like that. But anyway, so this is the latest leaf. It has a little bit of pink variegation. This is a nicely variegated leaf. And she has another one. I don't know if you can see it right there. It's getting ready to open up. So this is my pink princess that is on a pole, not a mouse pole, but she's on a pole because she's starting to get larger. It's actually two plants and a little baby plant down in there. I don't know if you can see it, but so this is my pink princess. Let's see, this is a bigger one and it's heavy. Oh. This is my Birkin, my Philodendron Birkin. Now I remember a time when the Philodendron Birkin was just like all of that. Like everybody was trying to get their hands on a Philodendron Birkin, and myself included. And I actually found two at Home Depot. I'll say about maybe 2 years ago. And I potted them up together. And this is where she's at. Now, I have had problems with this plant. For a time, it was producing like almost all white leaves that would brown, and I would just cut them off. But she's getting a little bit better now, as far as, the leaves they do have a lot of white in them, but not like before. Like I said, the leaves were like predominantly white and they were brown. And she has also had mites. They were like little red mites, so I don't know if maybe it was a type of spider mite, but I have had to treat her various times. Um, so yeah, this is the Philodendron Birkin. Ugh, I'm gonna put her down because she is a very heavy plant. So this is a plant that you all have seen before. This was in my video, plants that I would love to slap. And the reason why she was highlighted in that video is because her variegation is just not given what it's supposed to have gave. This is the latest leaf though. Like I said, it seems like she's trying to redeem herself and give me a little bit more variegation. So I'm hoping that continues. She is also a climber. As you can see, I have her on this pole. She's kind of gangly looking, but she's okay. So this, oh, I didn't say what kind of plant this is. This is the Paraíso Verde. That's what this is. So it's supposed to be variegated. So let me see. Last but not least, oh, one more fun fact is that in the right environment, I learned that philodendron can live for several decades. And I know many of you will be happy to hear that because, of course, we want to have our plants as long as possible, as long as we possibly can. But last but not least is my piece de resistance, Philodendron Phoebe. Now, Philodendron Phoebe, girl, she is an exclusive philodendron. She is native to a part of Mexico called Chihuahua. So that's where this particular philodendron is from. And she's perfect because if you don't have a lot of space, she's little. She's a little thing. She's little this way, but she, is kind of big going out this way. She's a little chunky girl. But you may be able to find a hybrid of the philodendron Phoebe girl because she's one of a kind, but you may be able to find a hybrid of her. So this is the philodendron Phoebe girl, y'all. This is my Phoebe girl. Right. So that is the end of my philodendron collection tour. This is part one, like I said. So part two will be the rest of my philodendron collection, my larger philodendrons. So hopefully that will be coming out maybe later this week or early next week. So let me know down in the comments how you all feel about philodendrons. If they're one of your favorite genuses, how many you have. Do you have a lot of larger ones? Do you like them? Do you hate them? Just some feedback. I would love to hear from you. And for those who are returning, thank you for coming back and supporting my channel. You just don't even know how much I appreciate it. If you've already subscribed, make sure you hit the notification button so you'll know when I put out new videos. And for those who have not subscribed, I don't know what you waiting on. You better like and subscribe, please. I would appreciate it so much because I'm trying to grow my channel. So you all take care. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Once again, I thank you for being here with me, and I will see you in the next video. Hooked on houseplants, y'all. Bye. Say bye, Phoebe girl. Say bye, Phoebe girl. Bye-bye.